makes a client choose you over someone else? It's not your website and it's not your years of experience. It's your USP or your unique selling proposition. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of agencies, and the ones closing high ticket clients have this one thing nailed down. So, in this video, I'll break down what a USP is, how to find yours, and how to use it to close more clients, even in the super saturated agency market. So, what exactly is a USP and why does it actually matter? Well, a USP is a specific, relevant, provable, and unique edge that makes someone hire you instead of the other agencies in their inbox. So it's what makes you stand out and what makes potential clients say, that's exactly who we've been looking for. And a strong USP does four really important things. It attracts the right clients, it sets you apart from competitors, it builds trust, and it increases your ability to charge more. So think about it like your fingerprint. It's clear, it's unique, and it's impossible to fake. And so here are five types of USPs that are helping agencies close deals right now. The first one is a service offering or specialization. So a USP can essentially be the specific problem you solve or the niche that you own. So for example, if an agency was to say, we only create high converting video ads for DTC brands on Meta and TikTok. So this is essentially a combination of industry specialization, so DTC brands, and then the one core service they offer, which is Meta and TikTok video ads. And so another agency, let's say they say, we don't touch media buying, only ad creative, and we guarantee it'll outperform your in-house team or freelancer. So essentially this agency is focusing on the problem that they solve, i.e. needing better performing ads, and then the one-of-a-kind service they offer, which is ad creative only. So this is just one example of a type of USP service offering and specialization that I'm seeing really work for agencies right now. Another example is speed and efficiency. And I see this working for a lot of agencies right now, especially in the world of AI, where everything's happening faster and, clients are really looking for, record breaking results in like little to no time. So for example, if your workflow is all about speed, I would definitely use that. So one example would be, we deliver 10 hooks per post in under 48 hours guaranteed. So this is talking faster turnaround and efficient workflow. Or another example is, our rapid onboarding process gets you your first ad lives in 72 hours or less. So this is, again, speed to launch. And it's something that agencies can use if they are able to execute on this timeline as a really compelling selling point when they go up against other agencies that might not move as quickly. You're going to then win all of the clients that are really trying to work quickly, get speed to launch, like I said, or to get, whatever they're working on or whatever they're coming to you for up and running as quickly as possible. So another one is quality and results. And this is something that I think a lot of agency owners are overlooking. Proof wins pitches. So if you have data, if you have results, if you have metrics, definitely show those and talk about those. So one example could be, an agency claiming our ads have driven $13 million in tracked revenue across 22 Shopify stores in the last year. So this is using case studies and proven success and higher ROI as their compelling USP, basically saying that they can increase your revenue if you have a Shopify store and they're using their metrics and their results from the past in order to verify that. Another one is a guarantee. So we guarantee a 10% increase in ROAS within 30 days or your money back. So this is a guaranteed result. Guarantees are obviously super bold. You have to be able to back them up, but they're also very, very powerful USPs because essentially you're guaranteeing a result for the client. And so again, that's going to be more compelling than when you're going up against an agency that maybe can't, guarantee results like that, or don't even have those results or metrics to really show. Another example that I think is really overlooked, it's something that we focus on at our agency, is client experience and support. So this is basically like if it's easier to work with you, or if you work in a streamlined way, or if, whatever it is that your process is really nailed down. It makes it easy to kind of get feedback from clients, work with clients, get what you need from clients. I think that's a very overlooked USP and something that a lot of agencies are beginning to kind of incorporate into their capabilities decks and into their pitches. So, one example would be you'll have one dedicated creative strategist, no support tickets, no delays. So this is talking about dedicated account management and personalized service. So again, if you go up against another agency that doesn't have these things and, maybe you're bouncing around from rep to rep, that could be less appealing to a client that really wants that one-on-one connection and that consistent point of contact at your agency. Another example, something that we do in our agency for our Done For You service, is unlimited revisions always. So again, this is a very client first policy. This is something that we utilize to, make our clients feel comfortable and to make sure that they know that They're going to get the deck that they love. There are no rounds of revisions or anything like that. We're going to keep working on it until it's perfect. So again, you have to have that built into how you work. That has to make sense for your agency, but different kinds of structures and how you deliver can definitely be strong USPs and can set you apart from other agencies in your space that maybe aren't able to offer those things. And another big one is technology and tools. So I think this one is a little bit more common, but again, I flag it here because it's super powerful if you're able to offer this to your clients and, mention it in your pitch. So, if you use tools that other people don't, for example, we use proprietary AI to identify scroll stopping frames from your raw footage. So this is just like an example of something a video production agency might say. And this is a proprietary tool. It's something cool. It's something that can set them apart from other agencies that aren't able to, use tools like this or speed up the workflow or, find the best stills using AI, et cetera. So something that sets them apart. Another example is like real-time performance dashboard. So your team always knows what's working. So this is like a tech-enabled process giving, your client on the other end real-time results, versus maybe another agency that doesn't have a dashboard like this. And now the client is feeling like the results are nebulous. They're waiting for updates versus, you can offer this dashboard that they can access at any time. So tools and technology, that's a big one. I see a lot of agencies leaning into this, especially with AI. But, I think this is a powerful one and something that can really set apart your agency from other competitors in the space. And so these examples are essentially just scratching the surface. If you want a full list, I put together an ultimate guide for uncovering your agency's competitive advantage. Inside, you'll find 50 plus USPs that you can use and look at to, gut check against your agency and kind of cherry pick the ones that work for you so that you're not kind of starting with a blank page. So it's a super valuable tool, I think, to really help figure out what sets your agency apart and also kind of see what the other options are out there, what you could be doing to maybe strengthen your services or strengthen your offer. So to grab that guide, check the link down below to my school community, join the community. The guide is in there pinned at the top. You'll be able to get it easily. But yeah, this is definitely an opportunity to kind of look at a bunch of USPs. I kind of took tons of time to just list all the different ones out that I've seen that are working really, really well. And then it also kind of just takes you through step by step a system to figure out your USP, and to kind of look at competitors, look at what you're good at, look at what you might be missing, and to really put together that kind of compelling list of differentiators for your agency. So check out the link below in the description, join the school community, grab the guide. It's all right there for you. So now I want to talk a little bit about what makes a weak USP and what makes a strong USP. So weak USPs typically sound good, but mean nothing. So these are like lines that kind of feel safe, but they say absolutely nothing about the value that your agency really provides. So these are lines like, we deliver high quality creative, or we care deeply about our clients. And the issue with those types of statements is that A, they're generic, so any agency could claim them. B, they're expected, so they're not really impressing the prospect on the other end of the pitch. And C, they're not provable. So you can't, show evidence of great customer service on a slide. So these USPs fail the test because they focus on things that are assumed and not really different. Now, strong USPs, I like to say, are specific, relevant, provable, and hard to copy. So again, specific, relevant, provable, and hard to copy. And this is super important because a strong, clear USP answers the question, why should I hire you instead of another agency that offers the same service? So it checks 4 boxes. Like I said, it's specific. So it names a precise offer, audience, result, whatever the prospect on the other side is wanting to see in order to hire you. It should address that very directly. It's relevant. So it solves a pain or taps into the priority that the client is focusing on right now. It's provable. So you can back it up with case studies, screenshots, testimonials, everything you put in your deck should tie back to supporting those USPs. And then it's differentiating. So it's not something that competitors can easily claim or copy. It's specific to you. And that's really, really important. So let's say the agency says, we have years of experience delivering great ad creative for DTC brands. This is generic, it's expected, and it's impossible to prove. And basically any agency could say that versus we create UGC ads that double revenue on the same budget you're spending now. So now we're getting specific. It calls out the UGC ads and the result, doubling the result on the same spend. It's relevant. So it speaks to the core client priority, which is, growing their ads and growing their revenue without spending more. It's provable. You can back it up with data and case studies and testimonials where you're showing past clients where you've achieved that result for them, doubling the result on the same ad spend. And then it's hard to copy. Not every agency can claim that. Not every agency is going to have the proof points and the data to back that up. So it's definitely a much stronger, more compelling USP, and that makes it extremely, extremely valuable. If you were the prospect on the other end of the pitch, which statement would be more compelling to you? It's the second one. Why? Because it seems more, guaranteed. There's proof to back it up. It's unique to that agency. So now you're looking at them like, oh, we need to work with these specific people. They get it. They know what we're trying to do. They've done it before, versus a nebulous statement that kind of keeps you in the sea of sameness of all the other agencies that might be pitching. So the USP, figuring it out, and you can have more than one, but figuring out what that is for your agency is super important. And it's one of the key ways you can improve your agency pitch and your overall capabilities deck. So again, if you want help identifying what your USP is, I have a guide that takes you through step by step how to figure it out for your agency. As I mentioned, you can have more than one. It will help you figure out what those are. It also includes 50 plus different USPs, so you can kind of just see a list and, like I mentioned before, cherry pick or gut check each one against your agency to see what you may or may not be able to claim or offer. If you want to get that guide, there's a link down below in the description to join my school group. The guide is in that group. I would love to have you in there. We offer tons of support for agency owners that are looking to create their capabilities deck, from calls to one-on-one support to the ability to just drop questions in the community. And if this was helpful, definitely check out this video. In it, I walk you through how to create a competitor analysis grid. This is one of the key tools you're going to need in order to figure out your USP. And it's also one of the most powerful slides you can include in your capabilities deck to ensure that it closes more deals.